What's going on, everybody? We're back for another live stream, which I feel like it's been a minute, but we're here and it's official. I got Brendan over here, who hasn't been on the channel in a little bit because he's been working for some odd reason. I guess he likes food and stuff.
I like to be able to buy a whole lot of stuff at cons. So.
Right. So we have it's official. We have made it on the YouTube thing. We have an official YouTube commenter in the chat. So there we go. That's a creative name. So he won't be able to watch, but he can comment. But I'll definitely watch when a recorded stream gets uploaded. Hey, thank you, whoever you are, Mystery Man. Mazu Bros in the house. Williams in the house. Look at all these people. Everybody's pulling in here. New T-Pain intro. I can't afford T-Pain on every live stream. His royalties are very expensive. And we got a budget here. So Brendan, welcome back, man. I know you've been out buying up all the comic books.
Yeah, it's been a frenzy.
So I remember the last book I remember you bought, the last comic related thing I remember it was like the biggest deal for you was that thick omnibus Spidey thing. That was the last like big thing until you got into this. I'm going to buy all these rare books. And have you read that thing yet? Have you read the whole thing?
Not the whole thing, but I've definitely gone through big chunks of it. Yeah. Right. But right now I'm on the hunt. I'm attempting to collect every Daredevil book ever published.
That's a challenge.
It's not an infinite challenge because tomorrow issue number 650, landmark 650th issue drops. So there is a number. It's not like
how many copies infinite. Of that in variants did you already pre-order?
The funny thing is, so it's I think I've got four, maybe five. For some reason, even though it's the landmark 650th issue, there's only a very limited number of variant covers that they did. Whereas between trade dress and virgin variants, I have in my possession and on pre-order, I think I'm up to 21 copies of issue number 1 that they just started, did. I'm a Daredevil fan. I
you have to.
I want all these covers have been so amazing that they've done for this run. So I was just like, I have to. Yeah, and then they've got more variants for issue 3 and 4. So this run started at 1. Number 2, which drops tomorrow, is the Legacy 650th issue. So the 3 and 4 in this run, which is 651 and 652, have more variant covers than this upcoming one tomorrow.
Wow.
So it makes me think that tomorrow is going to be kind of like a tribute type thing, maybe with like some of the present story, but it seems like the kind of big developments are more going to be in issues 3 and 4. So
you mean where where Anakin comes out and fights Daredevil?
It's actually going to be Darkseid Grogu.
Darkseid Grogu fights Daredevil in Hell's Kitchen.
Yes,
I like it.
But comics are really fun right now, especially if people aren't reading the Punisher, they're really missing out. And the current Punisher run and the current Daredevil run are about to collide, and it's going to be amazing. So if you're not reading those books,
man, I'm not reading anything. Well, I don't have time really to read anything right now, but there was some stuff I've been wanting to pick up. I just haven't had time to actually read them. But I could get on a little Punisher kick for a little while. I think I'd be all right with that.
The thing is, the current Punisher and Daredevil, like they both recently just started number 1s. And both of them are easy jumping on points. So you don't need a ton of backstory and stuff, like especially Punisher. You don't need a ton of backstory.
I wouldn't want to read Punisher if he was into violence at all. Like that wouldn't be for me.
Well, then might have to pass because despite what people thought was going to happen, this run is extremely bloody and violent,
Oh,
and
right on.
it's pretty awesome. So
You know what else is bloody and violent? This guy.
yeah, no. So I saw you put up your video. I haven't had a chance to watch it. What do you digging this one?
Dude, for a figure, it's a good figure. It's a good figure. It just
Is it something that you see sticking around in your collection long term? Because I know you don't have a lot of companion pieces for it.
I don't,
except Deadpool.
I mean, but they're easy to get. Like if I wanted to go get them, they're pretty easy to get. This one I feel like this is definitely superior to the Hot Toys version that came out years ago. Like without question,
Right.
Yeah,
I feel like they again. I never owned that one, but from what I gather, they kind of phoned it in on that one.
This head sculpt is crazy good.
Is the cigar like sculpted in?
Yeah, and it's lit.
Cool.
And it's lit. It's got like little red embers on the end of it. It's pretty sweet.
That is cool. I don't think I've ever seen Hot Toys do anything like that, but that would be really cool for like for a Wolverine to have him chewing on the cigar nub.
Exactly what I said in my video. I was like, a Logan with we need like a comic, like short 5'6", 5'4", Wolverine just
Well, I'm hoping they do that. At some point, if they have somebody like has been rumored like Taron Egerton to play Wolverine, he's only like 5'8". So
that would be.
I
mean, Hugh Jackman's not 5'6".
No, he's like 6'2", I think. So, but he was great in the role. So,
but he did a good job. I have no complaints with that. Yeah. Tonight, guys, what we want to talk about? Punisher the Pacifist. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. He would change his name to the Negotiator. No, we tonight we're gonna talk about the Batman. So we're gonna look at the InArt Batman that they finally released, or announced, or whatever, put up pre-order. That, and then we're gonna look at the Hot Toys one and decide which one might be worth picking up. That's kind of what I want to talk about tonight. And we're also, I got some other third-party figures I thought would be interesting to chat about as well, and kind of get into that. And that's kind of the direction. That's why I put Batman versus Batman, because I think I've been watching this stuff from the sidelines. I'm just kind of watching what InArt Queen Studios is doing and watching what Hot Toys is doing. There's definitely some ping pong back and forth going on, and they're throwing darts at each other and look what I can do and look what I can do. And that, I think, is the absolute best thing that can happen for us as the collectors. So yeah, which one we're going to pick up, I don't know. I have no idea. I don't think I'm going to get both, so I need to decide. I don't think I'd get both just to say I had them, and even for YouTube purposes, I don't at this point. I don't think I would get both.
Well, that's an expensive proposition too.
It is. I did order the Joker 2-pack rooted hair premium deluxe, whatever the hell thing they called that thing. The $1,000 set. I did order that.
Yeah, I got the sculpted one on that.
Yeah. So I'm kind of stumped. I don't think $1,000 is like saying you're dipping your toe in the water, because that's a lot. That's freaking head first in. But Heath Ledger Joker, I mean,
that's what you like. That's why I got that one. I'm not at the point yet where I'm willing to pre-order this Battinson, as people refer to him now. Right. Just for the fact that Queen Studios is a great company, but InArt, their 6-scale brand, is untested and unproven at this point.
Right.
This Joker and the what we've seen of the photos and stuff looks phenomenal. And I took the chance on that because I'm not spending $2,000 to go get the DX, like get the Hot Toys 2.0 that they put out years ago. I'm not doing that.
No way.
This one is their shot to prove to me as a collector that they can do it. And I hope they can. I'm really excited for it.
I hope they can.
But
it's just
you have to take that. You have to take that leap when somebody's doing something for the first time. You're going to have to take a chance on it. Yeah. But that's the one I'm taking the chance on. I'm not going to buy another one when I haven't had that first figure come in from them yet to know that they can do what they say they can do.
Yeah. So you're not willing to drop $300 on a Bruce Wayne Not even
No.
Batman, but Bruce Wayne. And
I'm curious to see how that sells, to be honest, the Bruce Wayne, because
you can kit bash one for cheap.
you really could. And
hell, there's third-party ones out there. Now, granted, the head sculpt, quality, it is what it is. There is.
It reminds me of so there's a company, I can't remember who's doing it, but doing a statue of Heath Ledger from The Dark Knight when he's dressed as a cop without the makeup and stuff, and he's got like the
J&D,
rifle.
right? It was Infinity.
I think it might. I don't think it was J&D. I think it's somebody else. Maybe it's Infinity, but somebody is doing that.
Yeah.
And I was talking about that with the guys from Collecting Weekly, and I was like, this looks cool. Looks like they did a really good job with it. I feel like this is for a very, very niche market, a very niche collector. It's for that one person. It's for the people who absolutely are obsessed with that film and love that, because that's not like the Joker. That's that movie. You have to love everything about that.
The Nurse
movie.
Joker, like nobody's made that, I don't think.
Right, but again, it's like a niche thing where it's like that's going to be for die-hard Dark Knight fans, the film, right? Not just people who love Batman and the Joker, because it doesn't look like the Joker, right? I feel like this one is going to be the same way, because I don't think that Bruce Wayne is particularly impressive. I think that's going to be for whoever is so obsessed with this film, it's their ultimate Batman film, and they're willing to spend the money on that Bruce Wayne. I don't think your average collector will.
I'm gonna pull up some fun photos here if I can. Let's start with this guy. Let's go here. Let's go there. And let's just take a look at some of these things. Now, this is for those you want to see where these are at. This is the Facebook page for InArt. So that's kind of where we're at with these things. And I'm happy to say that they don't really have their photos organized at all. I will give Hot Toys credit. They have albums for all of their characters and their figures.
I know.
InArt and Queen Studios is just like, bleh.
They just vomited onto the internet.
Man, so InArt and Queen Studios, you guys, like, albums are very helpful for those content
Come on,
creators.
just get somebody on social media, the organization.
You literally can hit upload to album.
Yeah, I know.
That's all you do. Anyways, I digress. So yeah, let's talk about the Bruce Wayne first, if I can. So they have a premium edition, which I believe is going to be the rooted hair, and then they have the other version, which is the standard edition with the sculpted hair. So I think that's how the difference is going on here. I don't really know how much these things are individually. I don't know. I guess somebody out there has them. I haven't even looked at ordering them, so the price didn't really matter to me because it was like, whatever. But if somebody in the chat knows how much these are, you can let me know.
I think there's somewhere around like $350 to $425, like a piece.
For each one?
Yeah.
Wow. So there's a whole battle of the rooted versus sculpted thing. I don't even want to jump down that path because it looks like the exact same figure, rooted or sculpted. It's the exact same thing. But you get here's one thing, and I want to get to this with the Batman thing. Whoever's doing their photos for these, like, we need to step up the posing a little bit because there is none. Like zero. There's zero posing. So we don't know what these things can do. And especially when we get into the Batman, like the posing.
Yeah. I don't think we're gonna have any clue as to what these figures can actually do until we have one in hand.
Yeah, I feel like it's like when Sideshow does their unsealed and revealed, and like they won't let Guy actually do anything with the figure, or their sneak peek thing, or whatever they call it these days. I feel like that's what we got here is like it can only stand up, and if you touch it, it will disintegrate. Like that's kind of what it looks like.
Which is true if they made the figure. But if it's a Hot Toys figure, then come on, handle it.
It probably won't disintegrate.
Let's go.
It probably won't. But this is it looks good. But is it $400 good? Again, you'd have to really love the film, I think.
That's what I'm saying. And at least for me personally, I really enjoyed the film. I really enjoyed the take on Batman, but I thought the Bruce Wayne parts were the weakest link in the film. I didn't love what we got for Bruce Wayne in the movie. And so for me, there's just no need for that figure. I think most people who get that, I don't see too many people buying it individually. I think the individual one is probably going to sit. I think it's the 2-pack will sell for people who are completionists, or people who are like, I really want the accessories that the Bruce Wayne comes with, like all those additional, Riddler things and stuff. I think that
but it ain't $400 worth of cardboard.
Right, but I mean, collectors spend a lot of money on crazy stuff. So
yeah, I know comic books. Yeah, I know. A lot by 28 versions of the same book. I've done it, so I understand.
I mean, or just really, really cool books. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I if I was gonna get this one and I was gonna drop the dime on this figure, I would just go ahead and get the rooted one and be done with it. Like that's what I would do if it was me. I don't see me picking this up.
Yeah, I don't. No, I mean, well, Seamus does make a good point, though, is that he doesn't think Bruce Wayne is really developed enough in this movie. But that's being said, some people might expect that development to come in the inevitable sequel and pick this up for that, to have, because they think that we're going to get a better dive into Bruce Wayne as a character in the future films in the franchise. That's possible.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just not really I also don't see really much of an upside, given the nature of this figure, to spending so much more for the rooted. I don't think it's going to make enough of a difference. Like, even though I went with the sculpted for the Joker,
I agree.
Even though I went with the sculpted for the Joker, there is a noticeable, better hue of the hair color for the rooted. I just don't want to deal with the maintenance of it. But for this, I don't think you're going to see that.
I'm with you on that. And Restless Youth Productions, not that impressive. Show me one that's a lot better. I'm not saying there's one better or one worse out there. It's just not one that I don't need it.
I don't think it's that Queen Studios or InArt didn't do an impressive job. I think that it's just that Bruce Wayne is not something that is impressive to a lot of people.
I mean, how would you display him on the shelf like that? Because that's what he did the entire film as Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, and it's like,
what would you do?
Literally just going to stand there. Like, if there was an Alfred and you wanted to pair Bruce and Alfred and in a display or something like that, but there was, to be honest, if they were going to do a Bruce Wayne, I'd rather them have done one of him in the, his Batcave working on the bike or something. So, when he's like in like a t-shirt or something like that, and he's got grease on his hands, or, has just come out of the suit and he's got like bandages or something like that, but just in the suit for that one scene. Yeah. I don't know. It just doesn't really.
Listen, guys out there in the chat, if I have to throw this warning out there, this is us. We spend money on this stuff. If you disagree, it's okay. It doesn't matter. Buy whatever you want. And it doesn't affect me one bit. And if you just want to debate me, that's fine too. But we're gonna keep it civil. But this is it's all right. Now this, on the other hand, I think is worth discussing. So we've got a couple different things. So there's standard Batman there, and we got this premium Batman. Again, I think the only difference is the rooted hair. Pretty sure that's the only difference.
It seems to be, yeah.
And it looks good. I think the suit looks good. I think the proportions look good.
Does he look a little bit more slender than the Hot Toys one?
Yeah, he definitely does. He definitely looks more slender. And for me, and this is my problem with the photos they're showing this, I want to see how the suit material moves. I want to see like what it can do. One of my biggest complaints with any 6-scale figure, honestly, is where the especially in a figure like this, is where the chest armor, where you can't get the arm across because that butterfly joint is impeded by the sculpt there. Like a Batman figure that could reach across and like that meme, it's like backslap Robin, like that would be awesome. But so I want to see what this thing will do. And is that suit material going to be like thick and rubbery, like a bat fleck, like you can't move the damn thing? Or like they showed us nothing about this.
It is the intriguing part of this one is that this is the first time that we're going to have a head-to-head competition, a direct one-to-one comparison,
Right.
because both Hot Toys and InArt are both making the same figure of the same character from the same film, and they're
Mhm.
in basically the same release window. This is supposed to be April to June 2023, and I believe the Hot Toys one is listed as April to September 2023.
Yeah.
Now,
Whoever drops
let's
first
see if
wins.
and let's see if they hit their target windows too, because that's a big question mark. But this is the first direct fair one-to-one comparison, because if this InArt Joker comes out and it's amazing, and I hope it is, if
Mm.
it blows the old DX out of the 2.0 out of the water, that's still not really a really fair comparison of what the companies can do today, because how old is that DX figure?
Oh, it's got to be 7 years old.
Seven. So it's
Yeah.
comparing a 7-year-old figure. Now, if Hot Toys is better, then that is telling about, oh well, InArt really missed the mark. But if InArt's is better,
I
it's
don't
like,
see how it
okay,
couldn't
but
be. I've reviewed all the Joker figures. I've had them in hand and all. I have the
yeah,
2.0, the DX11. I've had all that stuff, and it's not that impressive in hand. I mean, it's a good figure, but it's not. It ain't that
right
great. It's just it was the best at the
at the
availability
time,
at the
yeah.
time. So I don't
So
think there's any way. Like Hot Toys in their current state would do better
would
than
do
what they
way
did.
exactly. So you can, if InArt's is far superior, you can't really say, man, they just destroyed Hot Toys.
Right.
But if InArt doesn't reach the level of the 2.0, then that's telling, because that's a 7-year-old figure for Hot Toys.
Yeah, that would be a
But
problem.
whereas this is going to be the first one-to-one comparison of figures coming out, kind of, not that they came out in the same window, but the classic Loki. You got So Toys, and then you have Hot Toys is obviously going to come out way after, but still, you can kind of compare those two directly.
Yeah. See, this I was looking at this earlier, and this is an awkward pose for me.
It is, yeah.
I get what they were trying to do, but they just didn't pull it off. And the question is, can it, or is it just somebody wasn't good
That's
at
what,
posing?
yeah, because it's
hard to
like
say.
the arms. It feels very like stiff and just kind of like
It's in the hands. It's all. It's like they don't have the right
Yeah.
hand to do whatever he was trying to do, and so you try to like get the cowl balanced, and you got to use we've all done it. You just use what's available,
Right.
and you go, oh, let me try to do this. So that's fine. I'm not going to strike him too many points on that one, but there is some things going on there, and then the suit material looks pretty good. We just don't know.
The hard thing is, and I think this is just because their company culture and what they're used to doing, they are the product photography here, they're basically emulating what they do with statues
Yeah, this
with
is
6
weak.
scales.
This is a weak pose.
Right, and that's the thing. It's like they're used to just like straight like black background and like boom, here's the statue, right?
Yeah.
And the pose that the statue is already in, because it was sculpted that way, is doing all the work for them in terms of making something dynamic. But here
Exactly.
they're just taking a 6 scale and standing it upright like a statue, and then just giving straight kind of dull product shots. They're not really putting anything into it. So it's hard to really gauge what we're working with here.
Yeah. So InArt Queen Studios, if you would like, you can send it to me. I will pose the shit out of it, and we'll see what it can do, and then people will know what the hell they're getting. I'll even take photos and do whatever. If you want me to help, I'm here to help. I'm glad to help, because this is not helping your cause. This is not helping your cause at all.
Like construction wise, it looks good. It's just a matter of, okay, what are we going to be able to do with this? Like that right there looks like it's actually from the movie.
Yeah, it looks good.
How is it going to look in a display, and how are you going to be able to pose it? Those are the questions. You literally cannot do a more just straight up and down museum pose than these shots right here.
And there is a place for them, but you need to add other things in the mix. That's all.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. Isn't InArt, didn't they tease a Batmobile as well?
Yeah.
They teased the Batmobile. Hot Toys teased one, yet the only one with
Jazz
the
Inc.
homes to make one so far has been Yoast. So,
I honestly never expected Hot Toys to make the one that they teased. I really felt they were just trying to scare off InArt and Jazz Inc.
yeah.
I don't think they had any actual intention of making it. Just like they've done that before. Anybody who thinks they're making that Starfighter from STCC, you're crazy.
Hey,
It ain't happening.
Hey, man, I got to have that.
We have about as much chance of getting that as we do a 1/6 scale Death Star. Okay.
Yeah. Well. Okay. Well, that might be a problem. They are making a bat signal, which I think is a good looking bat signal. Honestly, I think that's pretty good looking.
Yeah. Does it light up in arts?
I would assume so.
I didn't see any photos that had it lit up because I know the Hot Toys one lights up.
Yeah.
And I know both companies will let you purchase them separately, which is a good move.
It is a good thing. I like that. And then you've got the little computer thing and
yeah.
Whatever.
That's cool to include, but it's like, I'm never going to use it.
No. So like All In, they've got this thing they call All In where you get all the stuff, right? You get the bat signal, you get the deluxe figure, or you get the rooted figure and the rooted Batman, and they get all the stuff. I gotta imagine that's like $1,000. That would be my guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Again, I haven't looked enough into this for it to like start hurting my wallet yet.
Are those so on the left there? Are those 3 different sculpts, or is it the unmasked and then the mask with like a swap out plate?
I've got to go to a different photo to tell you that answer, and it's gonna be this one. Different mouth.
Okay, so it's not a second, not 3 sculpts.
No, with rolling eyes, interchangeable facial expressions.
Okay.
Yeah. 10 interchangeable hands. A bunch of. I read that very quickly. It says one douchebag.
That's what I thought too when I first saw it.
I was like, whatever.
That would be a first in the 6 scale game. That's
whatever, man. It does say premium edition, so whatever floats your boat. Yeah, I don't know. So here's the other issue that I have with this as well. With InArt is how are they going to handle customer service after these ship?
Yeah.
After these ship, because these are an unknown quantity at this point. We don't know what we're going to get into. We don't know we don't know if they're going to come in and like one eyeball's going this. Well, I guess they're movable eyes, but one of the back cow top's ear thing is broken off, or we don't. How are they going to handle that? Are they going to have replacement parts? How's all that going to work?
From everything that I've ever heard from people, is Queen has pretty good customer service on the statue side of things. But their statues, because they're high end, they tend to be low edition sizes, low runs, so they don't need to handle a large manufacturing process and resources in the same way that like Hot Toys does on theirs. Obviously, Hot Toys is going to make more of their Batman than InArt is going to. So typically, from what I understand, Queen Studios, which owns InArt, is good at customer service, but I don't think they've ever had to handle anything on the scale that they're approaching with this.
And this distribution is not for the United States. This is overseas. So you're getting this through resellers if you're getting this in the States.
That's true. So for us in the States, if you're in Asia, then it'll be easier. If you're in the States, then customer service is basically going to be going through whatever reseller that you get it from.
Right. And then you're going to have to deal with the telephone of, this person's got to talk to this person. And how's that going to work? I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work. For me, I'm not terribly, I don't get terribly picky. Like if something comes in and something's rubbed or whatever, I'm just like, okay, whatever, chalk it up to collecting is what it is. But there are people out there that are not like me.
Yeah.
Who are particular
Look, like if I ordered this and like the Bat computer came and like it was broken, I'd be like, I don't care. It's not. I'm
Exactly.
not going to use it, so it's not worth the hassle of trying to go through and get a replacement. You know, as long as the core of the like, if one of the riddle things is like ripped or so, I don't care,
Yeah.
right? But
Yeah, I don't give
I
a shit.
mean,
Now, if
that's
his
just
head
me.
won't
If
stay
you
on, that's a
if
different
some
animal.
yeah, exactly. If like if an ear on the cowl is broken or
Yeah,
something, then
that's a
we got a
problem.
problem.
Yeah. Yeah, but how
That's
are
just
they going
me
to
though.
handle that? I mean, I made a post a little. I guess it's been a few weeks now that somebody went in there and blasted a review on somebody because they didn't get a damn shipper box, and I'm going, y'all have
Yeah.
lost your damn mind. It's just there are people out there who just like writing bad reviews and are just
They just like
terrible.
drama too. It's
They're
just
just
yeah.
terrible people on the planet. There's bad people on the planet,
Yeah. I will
and
say I think that the onus will be on Queen Studios
yeah,
to go the extra mile, even though like in art, even though they're not selling direct to consumer
yeah,
in the States, they are really under the microscope with the collecting community. And so I think if there are any QC issues or anything like that, then
right.
I think they are going to probably try and make more of an effort than some companies would to work with whatever resellers are carrying it
It's in
to
their
make
interest.
sure that the end customer is happy, because this is a big deal for Queen Studios and InArt, and they need to nail this if they have any hopes of being licensed anywhere outside of Southeast Asia, basically.
Yep, exactly. So I want to pop over if I can. Let's see if I can do this to. I guess I can. Let me do this. Let me find my other screen, and just take a look at the Hot Toys one if I can. And I said that, and then I can't find the damn page.
So
Oh,
the all in is $9.49.
I'll just go back here.
Oh, okay.
Look this is what I'm talking about. Look at Hot Toys. You got all the albums, and you can
Yep.
find which one you want. It's like they're a real company and everything. But they had a post here with the updated. There it is. That's what I was looking at earlier. See, for me, like the sculpted one on this is all I need. It's perfectly fine.
Yeah, I mean, again, it comes down to personal preference for each collector, but for me, I would be fine if they didn't even do an unmasked and they just gave me the because it's Batman. I'm not displaying him unmasked. Like, I understand some people want it even just to display for a little bit to take pictures. I totally get that. And if that's
Yeah.
you, all for it. No problems. For me personally, I see the update and I look at it as, well, I'm glad they're taking feedback from the community and they're continuing to try and improve things.
Yeah.
It just so happens that in this case, they're trying to improve something that I just don't care about in the first place. But but that's fine because it's
That's
still
fine.
a good sign
If
from
somebody does, it's fine.
yeah, exactly. It's still a good sign that they are willing to do that. It just so happens in this case, it's something that I don't care about because I'm never going to display him in anything but the full cowl.
So you mentioned we talked earlier about the InArt suit, like the physique, the
Yeah.
proportions of it. I like this one better.
I do too. And I mean, Robert Pattinson's definitely on the slimmer side when you compare him to other Batmen. I don't know which one is technically more accurate. I'd have to like rewatch and really look. But
I don't
there's
even
also
care.
put it this way, if he was as thin in the movie as the InArt figure makes him appear to be, I'm okay with inaccurate. If it
Yeah,
means because I think this just
exactly.
looks better.
It's going to look better on the shelf. Well, he's
Yeah.
got a waist, he's got shoulders. I mean, it's like having that. They just reissued the stealth suit cap, right, for the in-game limited edition,
Mhm.
whatever. And he's actually, if you own the previous stealth suit cap, you know it's a garbage figure, and he's straight up and down, no proportions. He's like a freaking plank.
That's how I've got him displayed because I have him, and it's just straight up and down, holding the shield.
Yeah.
And from a distance, it looks cool. If you try and mess with him or pose him, it's a nightmare.
That is a pain in the ass figure to pose.
Yeah.
Which I bought. I actually owned that figure 3 times and sold it every time. I was like, oh, whatever.
I mean, the definition of insanity.
Yeah, I just, whatever. But I think that for me, I like this proportions better. And now whether screen accurate, like you said, I don't really care.
Yeah, there's some times where I'm okay with inaccuracy because sometimes it looks better
This is cool.
when it's not accurate.
Detachable batarang. That's cool. But
Yeah,
also something to lose.
very true. And it's like if you lose that, that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, they better have extras.
Or yeah, that's what I'm thinking they should because also we don't know how fragile those are going to be.
Yeah, and they gotta be magnetic, I would think.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily like that it's removable, to be quite honest with you. Because I like getting the texture to match that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not. I'll applaud the effort, but I don't know that it was necessary.
I mean, again, that's also one of the things to me where it's like, I don't have any intention. Like, I want him to be displayed with the symbol on his chest. So I don't want to have that out.
Yeah, you can see
Um,
it there. It's different. The paint
yeah,
applications are different.
I understand some people will like that, will want that. To me, it's in the
Mhm.
same realm of, and again, if you like this is, that's totally fine. But for me, it's in the same realm of when a figure comes with a pistol and the magazine comes out or or it slides. I'm just like, okay, but like, yes, that's accurate and it does that in real life. That's cool. But I'm not going to display him with the clip, like, out in the other hand or with it. So it's like, okay, that's cool. It does that.
It
What
is. It's
like,
just cool. It's just here. Those things are for when you get somebody who hasn't seen your collection.
and you
You bring them
show
in and
them
you're
and you're
like,
like,
check
yeah,
this out. Boom, and they go, oh, like they don't care about the head sculpt. They're like, oh my god, that's one of those things. So
yeah,
I get it. I understand. Um, you know, the more I look at this, the more I'm leaning towards the Hot Toys one. To be quite honest with you, um,
yeah.
well,
Like, honestly, I am too, but not because I think the Hot Toys one is so vastly superior. I
no,
think they're both fairly comparable. I just think that the Hot Toys one is I like the proportions a little bit better, and
yep,
I think everything else is going to be fairly comparable. And price wise, I don't see the need to pay the premium for this figure. Now, when InArt does, an old school like a Linda Carter like Wonder Woman, when they do a Batfleck from BVS, when they do some of those other figures, then yeah, I'm definitely interested. But this one, I think they're so close that I don't have to go for the premium or take the chance on InArt. We know
right,
the Hot Toys one is going to be a good figure.
exactly. So if I remember correctly, we're not even going to get into that one yet.
Yeah.
So we got a bat cycle, which is cool. I don't think we'll ever see this damn thing, but whatever. They're doing where is it? The deluxe version. All right, so this is kind of where I'm leaning toward. 515 for the figure with the bat signal.
Yeah.
I think that's a win.
Yeah. For
I
all
mean, for
intents
me,
and purposes, I think that's the way I'm going to go as well.
yeah.
Um, but here's the thing: we're not in an era anymore where like you got to pre-order this right away. You can
No.
get anything that comes out. You can get later on, you know, just whether it's like, okay, we've
All the
got,
wing
because here's
suit.
the thing: any of these companies, like, resellers that are doing like, okay, you've got to, pre-order within the next 45 days or something. Put it this way: if they get 3,000 pre-orders, they're going to buy 5,000 of these things because
Yep.
they know that the hype is going to be up there and they're going to want to have more to sell later when people come to the party late. So you're always going to be able to track down this one. You're going to be able to get the Hot Toys one because they're going to make 8 million of those. So this is nothing that you have to jump on some sort of pre-order option for. You're going to miss out. Like,
And eventually we'll
definitely,
show up with free shipping at some point. So
yeah, just don't worry about, don't let FOMO like scare you into, I have to make a decision on this thing now, because neither of these are coming out for a year.
nah, I got plenty of time.
And Hot Toys, it could be like 2 years, but the way they delay figures.
Or it could
So,
be they could do next
or
month.
they push it out
Boom, here we go.
faster because competition
But
makes them.
like I said, I think whoever releases first wins. That's what I
Yeah.
think. Yeah, I think just look what happened with the damn life size Grogu. Sideshow scooped up all those orders, man. And then Hot Toys shows up a month later or 2 months later with theirs.
I got the Sideshow one too, and
I think the Sideshow one's better.
I agree, but I think one of the things that really scared people off of the Hot Toys one was the damage to the jaw that was happening a lot. I think that really made people like, okay, yeah, I'm not going to do that, and I'm going to stick with going with Sideshow. If they didn't have that issue, I think Hot Toys would have sold a lot more. I don't know if they would have necessarily sold more than Sideshow, but
there was a on Toys Frontline. I don't know what it is. I just randomly saw it in my Facebook feed, but I'll share this. That somebody posted in there a comparison that I thought was helpful. Again, I don't know who these people are, but here's some photos. So there's your comparison between InArt. So again, you got to take lighting into effect and whatever, but they're very similar.
Yeah,
very similar. Again, and the cape material I think is going to make a difference here too.
I mean, that's one area where I feel like there's a good chance that InArt will excel because Hot Toys just historically does not do capes very well.
Yeah, and this is like an unfair size comparison because you don't know the lens distortion and all that.
Right, you can't. When you have solid backgrounds like this, you don't know the focal distance. You don't know what lenses they're using. It's hard to really say. I mean,
for me, the Hot Toys one is perfectly passable.
Yeah, I think, and that's the thing. Unless you have the same photographer taking shots of both, we're not going to know definitively until somebody has both in hand. And even then, this is all subjective. So the bottom line is I don't think anybody's going to be disappointed with either of these. So you've got options. Like, I don't think there's a downside at all to it.
Hot Toys always messed up capes. I will agree with that in general. Although the black suit Superman cape was quite fantastic.
The Superman capes that they did, Justice League, and then the Snyder cut, the black suit, they've definitely done better with those drape capes. The posable capes, they always have pretty like weak wires. The
wires are so weak.
Yeah, so that's where they tend to fall down.
Like, what was the figure I just posed with a cape? Who was it? Oh, the zombie hunter Spidey. I got him up there. I love that figure. I wouldn't pay full retail for it. I would get it at a discount, whatever. But
I passed on that one, and I get all Spideys. But I might pick it up. I might pick it up like for a deep discount down the road.
Yeah. It's cool. But there's one figure that we've never gotten that appears to be on the way. And I feel like it's a good transition for that. But since we're going into alternate universes, I think we should talk about this guy. The one character in the MCU, well, one of many, who has been shamefully, shame on you, Hot Toys, shamefully ignored. Shame on you. Wong. So this is Toys Battalion, which is probably also Toys Era. So one of your manufacturers out there. I am absolutely getting this because there are no other options. But it does look good. It looks good.
I would give this sculpt like a solid 8 out of 10. Like it's not perfect. I think the eyes maybe kind of leave a little bit to be desired, but it's the only figure of him, and it looks damn good. Like
I called him the Sorcerer Supreme. I was like, that's a good touch, man.
It is, yeah. Now, do I think Hot Toys could do a better one if they made it? Yes, but they're not making them, and it's crazy because you look at all the properties he's popping up in.
He's everywhere.
He's in all the Doctor Strange movies. He's in the Avengers movies. He's in Shang-Chi. He's in She-Hulk, coming up. Yep. So, yeah, I think it's ridiculous that we haven't gotten one of him yet.
It's crazy.
So it's really good that Toys
and it'll be cheap.
Basically is doing it. Yeah, this is probably going to be like $180 or something. Like,
whatever it is, it'll be cheap. relatively cheap in the 6-scale game, as we just saw.
And the tailoring looks pretty good. Like,
It's
assuming
perfectly
that holds
passable.
up. Yeah.
I like it.
I think
I could see. I don't know. I dig it. So I'll end up picking this up wherever he may be available. But
it's a hell of a lot better than some of the other third-party ones that came out around the Doctor Strange, like that ancient one that was just a train wreck.
Yeah, I skipped that one altogether. I saw photos. I was like, oh boy,
it looked like just hot garbage.
Like unless you just got the hood up the whole time and you never ever look at it, maybe. But,
no, this looks good.
I like this. I'll definitely be picking that up. So
I would love, as somebody made it back in the day too. I would love from the first Doctor Strange. I would love a good Caecilius, Mads Mikkelsen. I would love.
Didn't you get glitter everywhere?
Yeah,
his eyes.
I would love a good one of that, and then Baron Mordo. So I don't know.
Mordo,
maybe a third party will tackle Mordo. I don't know, but
I'd kind of like to have the Mordo from the Multiverse of Madness, though. I thought he was cooler
with the longer hair. Yeah,
I like the longer hair. He was more badass, I guess, in that one. And in the first Doctor Strange, he was kind of it was kind of a bitch in the first movies. The second one.
But I would. I mean, if they're making Wong, then why not make those other 100% characters
do that? Yes. So I don't know what else we got going on. Hot Toys had their opening of their new store or whatever, and they released the super limited Chrome Stormtrooper and the Cap and the other one, whatever the other one was. I don't remember now.
Do you think the reissue Mark 46 guy got his hands on 46. One of the Mark 46s?
No, he probably missed out. He probably wasn't
able
to
get
there, and he was at work, or couldn't get there. Couldn't get it.
That's like that's so sad if he didn't.
I saw what the prices for the Chrome Trooper were going for, and I'm not willing to overpay
400 or something.
Yeah, I'm not willing. And the Captain America is way the hell up there.
And the Cap looks great.
It does,
but it's like I've got the first stealth one. Is that and admittedly it's not great, and this one is going to be way better.
Oh yeah, it looks gorgeous.
It's not worth $500-600. No, it's just not. It was in Endgame for like 4 seconds.
Yeah, and I eventually probably will end up with the Trooper and Cap at some point. But it's this moment.
Your video cut out.
Oh, why did they do that? That's weird. Let's see what happened.
Camera battery die?
Maybe. I still have audio though, right?
Yeah.
Let's see what's up. But I'll probably still get. I'll get them eventually. I don't know.
Everybody can just look at me.
Yeah, go for it. I don't know what just happened, to be quite honest with you, but we'll figure it out. Oh, that's why that wasn't plugged in all the way. That helps. Let's try that again. Hold on. Yeah, you can keep the people entertained for a minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I don't know what's going on. It's weird.
I can't believe we still haven't gotten a Zoe Kravitz Catwoman. I would love us to have one. I was having this conversation the other day too. People were like, "Why isn't InArt making Catwoman?" And I think Hot Toys definitely should, because they're established. It makes sense to me that InArt hasn't done that yet, because they're just trying to establish themselves in the 6-scale game. So it makes more sense that they would go with Batman first and Joker, and then like the Lord of the Rings, like those key characters and stuff. You get to the other characters, supporting characters in those, and I think Zoe Kravitz absolutely deserves it as Catwoman. But Hot Toys 100% should have already announced it. For InArt, I can understand why they haven't done that yet, because let's not worry about Catwoman until you've proven that you can give us a good Batman, which I think they'll be able to, but they still have to show us that first. And remember, we haven't even gotten the first figure, the Joker, so we still have to see how good that is. But yeah, I do hope that, because there was a third party that did a Catwoman that looked just so god awful. So I don't think anybody's going to be ordering that one.
True story. Ryan's gone. I'm back. The thing came unplugged. I don't know. Ghost.
Plugs.
Well, like I was saying with the Stormtrooper, I'd like to have the clone Stormtrooper.
Me too.
But I am perfectly fine with this the Chrome Clone Trooper because I think it's way cooler anyways.
Yeah. I have that and the Death Trooper, the Chrome Death Trooper coming. So it's like if I can't pick up the Chrome Stormtrooper, I can live with that.
By the way, for those who are interested, I got an email last week. Actually, I got an email. I'm wondering if they emailed me, but they did email me and said that, hey, in 10 days, the Sideshow Animated Anakin and Obi-Wan are arriving in the warehouse. And they took all my funds and they collected the funds, just like they did my clone, my Chrome Trooper, which they still have not shipped. Whatever is going on with that. And they took the funds, and so I will have those to review at some point if they ever actually ship them. So I'm actually somewhat excited for those. I'm curious to see how they turn out.
I got that same email.
Yeah.
And I called and canceled it.
No.
I did.
I gotta see it for myself, man.
So here's the thing. I was one of those people that was like, look, I think they had some bad lighting on some streams and stuff, and I don't think the figures are as good as the prototypes, but I didn't think that they looked as bad as people were making it out to be. I was actually not as down on those figures in Sideshow for those. But at the same time, I just didn't have any excitement. And that's later on after I was like, look, I'm not jumping on I hate this, I'm canceling right away.
Right.
But after a little bit of time, I was like, I'm just not excited about them. And I was underwhelmed with the Ahsoka that they showed.
Oh, I ordered it, but
I was underwhelmed with that. Not only that, but it's $10 more than the Clone Wars Ahsoka that Hot Toys put out, and that's just banana pants. So I was like, that's not okay. But then you look at the Yoda, and in isolation, the Yoda doesn't it looks decent. But when they showed it next to all the other ones, I'm like, his head is like 3 sizes too big. His head is bigger than the heads on the other ball. Yeah, I'm like, I don't understand it. That looks so weird when he's with the other characters. And then it's like the Cad Bane. The Cad Bane, it looks cool, all right? And it's got the wider brim. I think that figure probably looks the best out of all of them. But one, it's do they actually hit the prototype, because they didn't on the previous ones. But the other thing is that I'm gonna get the Hot Toys one. The wider brim, it's like, all right, that's not going to hang me up,
man. We'll see.
To me, it was just, it was like I said, it was more that I didn't have I'm perfectly fine with it. If people like them and they turn out great, awesome. Congrats.
Well, they're not going to sell out. That's for sure.
Right. Well, that's what I was. I was like, they're going to be around forever because they're going to make a gajillion of them, and I'm just not excited for them right now, and I'm not looking to. I'm really trying to hone in a focus on my collection, especially as I'm spending so much on fucking comic books.
Yeah, man.
I'm really trying to just kind of be selective about what I'm getting, whereas before I was getting practically everything. And now I'm just like, I only want to get the stuff that really, really excites me. And those right now just don't. But so I canceled it, got all my money back. And I know that if those, turn out to be really good later on, I can pick those up whenever I want. So it wasn't in the meantime.
They'll have them for $20 off or whatever.
Exactly. So in the meantime, I just diverted those funds elsewhere.
Look, I give them their fair share of shit because they earn it. But I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I spent the $600 on the 2 figures, which is ridiculous in my opinion for Sideshow pieces, but whatever.
Yes, I agree.
We're gonna see. We'll see. If they're good, if they're good, I will say they're good, and I will. It is what it is.
I hope they are.
I don't.
I hope they are, and like I said, I did not think they looked that bad as a lot of other people did. I wasn't like thrilled, but I didn't think they looked as bad as other people made them out to be during
Well, I said they looked
the
like shit
con when
they
they
did. Because I would, there's no way as a company I would launch something as important as that in freaking 480p live stream.
in
There's
a
no
live,
way,
yeah,
man.
you don't do
No
that.
way.
Like, you absolutely don't. Yeah, so those, like I said, it was just I think the launch was the way they did that was a mistake and it was underwhelming. But
Yeah.
I can always pick them up down the road if I want. And same thing with, like you said, I will give Sideshow shit when I feel like they've earned it, and they earn a lot of it. But I also have pieces from Sideshow that I love. I have two
Yeah.
Daredevil statues that I will never let go. That recent Ahsoka is phenomenal. The Mythos figures that the Mythos statues that the
Mhm.
Kuchart brothers have done, amazing. The OG Mythos Vader I've got. The Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman and 89 Keaton Batman, which I'm
Mhm.
selling those, but they're great. Like, that's just,
Yeah.
they do stuff, and I'll give them credit when I think they nailed it. This one, I'm not saying they missed. I'm just saying I'm not excited enough to
Yeah.
want to spend that much money on them right now.
Well, if it was a Daredevil, you'd buy it. So
Oh, hell yes. That
see,
honestly,
the
that
character. It's a
that
character.
that is what I'm holding out most for. I want from She-Hulk, they damn well better announce a red and yellow
That would
Daredevil.
be sick. I'd be all over that. Like
If
that would be
they
the only figure I'd ever want from She-Hulk would be that figure. Like the rest of them, I could give a crap less. But if they
well,
do a
I
red and
mean,
yellow Daredevil,
let's be realistic. We're not getting we probably won't get a Wong because
we're not going to
they
get a
haven't done it.
She-Hulk.
We're
They're not
I
going to
think
do that.
I think we might get a She-Hulk.
No, no, no,
Well, they
no.
can't do another figure from the show if they don't do She-Hulk. So it's either She-Hulk
They're
and
not
then
doing
something
She-Hulk.
else or nothing.
Nah, they'll do Daredevil.
They
They
better
ain't doing
do
those.
Daredevil.
They're not going to do.
They're not going to do Abomination. We're not getting an
They're not doing a
Abomination.
Pansy Hulk again. They're not going to do that, and they're not going to
Well,
do.
there's no need to. Yeah.
No.
So
We're gonna do. Well, you want Yoga Hulk? Is that what you want? You want Yoga
yes,
Pants Hulk?
in the wife beater, and yeah. No, I want I'm assuming that they will give us a She-Hulk. I'll be interested to see how they pull that off in a figure. But She-Hulk and a Daredevil,
Yeah.
those I think we will get, and scratch that. Daredevil, I demand. I'm not playing nice anymore. Hot Toys, I demand it. Give it to me.
Oh
Um,
boy, Hulk
but
She-Hulk 2-pack. Nobody would buy it.
no,
Nobody. Nobody would buy that.
nobody would do that. There is
Nobody.
no way that Hot Toys would be stupid enough to do a Hulk She-Hulk 2-pack. If it was the like Avengers or the solo Ed Norton movie Hulk, yes,
Yeah.
people would. But
Here's an idea for you.
not
Here's an
in
idea.
this. It's just
Here's an idea.
not happening.
If here's just throwing this out there, I'm just spitballing here because we're getting to wrap this up. If Hot Toys did an Avengers 1 hero crew like 6-pack, you got Hulk, Thor, Black Widow, Hawk. If you did this, is like here's the crew, boom, here's this massive like 29-pound box, they'd sell the hell out of that.
Oh,
It'll be,
I'd buy it.
and
I
it'd
mean,
be
I have the original Hulk.
$3,000 or whatever it is, and they'd sell the hell out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing.
Yeah.
So somebody also mentioned that it'll be interesting because She-Hulk would require an entirely new body.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And it's not one that they would be able to repurpose to use for other characters. So
Right.
I feel like they would only make it if there was some sort of kind of like agreement with Marvel, like, hey, make this and we'll hook you up. We'll do something else in our deal, or it's there are big plans to do additional series and movies involving She-Hulk, so which I do think that is likely, and they feel like they can do multiple iterations. Oh Jesus, multiple iterations, and if they can, then they'll monetize it. But
yeah, I think you're right.
there's no way they give us a figure from that show and that isn't She-Hulk. Like they have to at least do She-Hulk.
Yes, they.
No, they won't.
You can't apply logic in Hot Toys land. There is none. There's no logic. None.
There are certain things that I just don't think they would be stupid enough to do, and that's one of them. Like we're not. They would put out a crappy She-Hulk just to be able to put out a really good hopefully Daredevil red and yellow.
I think She-Hulk is going to get smashed, pun intended, by Andor, and we won't even be talking about She-Hulk. That's what I think is going to happen.
Well, there's a difference between a figure and a show. I think the
I'm
show
talking about the show.
I think the show has a lot of potential. I'm looking forward to it. But again, people have to recognize what it is. This is not any other type of Marvel. This is basically this is actually going to be exactly what the She-Hulk comic book is in Marvel, which is it's Ally McBeal.
Yeah.
It's a legal comedy. Okay, that's what. And if that's not up your alley, don't watch it.
I'll give it a fair shake if it's entertaining. If it's not entertaining, I'm out. If it's that's really all I ask. I don't ask that it's super comic accurate or this or that. I don't really. It's just entertain me for 45 minutes. That's all I ask. And does the story
won't even be that
sense?
long? It's going to be like 30 because it's like half-hour episodes.
Yeah, just entertain me and make the plot and believable. And don't if I look down and I'm like playing on my phone, I'm playing Clash of Clans or something while I'm watching it, you lost me, and that's it.
I just hope they limit how much Bruce Banner is in it, because as much as I like Mark Ruffalo, even if a joke is funny, if it comes at the expense of us continuing to not get the Hulk that we want, then it's not gonna land. So I think if this show is going to succeed, they can't lean so much on the Hulk. I feel like he, in there in the beginning to kind of set up, and then her kind of getting used to the powers and stuff in the first handful of episodes, but then he's got to go and then let her be on.
What about at the end? Wasn't it in the end of Shang-Chi when he was back to human form? So something's got
he was back to human form in Shang-Chi, and he had the brace on his arm. Right. And they've shown a clip from this new show where he and Jennifer are in a car accident, and that they're basically saying that that's how they're retconning or changing how she got the powers, and it's basically from contact during that accident, which is fine.
I'm kind of like
he's got the sling in that one,
right? Yeah, but
then later as the Hulk, he doesn't.
Right.
So
we'll see how it plays out. I don't know, but we're gonna wrap this up. We just want to have a little chat with you guys. Love to hear your thoughts on the Batman, debacle, which you got a year to figure it out, probably 2 years, honestly, before you actually need to make a decision. Yeah. But I'm just saying, by the time it actually releases, they'll still be in stock wherever. So
don't rush out and put money down right now that you might be regretting later. Wait. See what each company brings to the table. You will absolutely be able to get whichever one you want next summer without question.
That reminds me, I want to go watch Shang-Chi again. I did watch Multiverse of Madness on Disney Plus again, and I finally did watch Lightyear. That was a pretty good movie. I
haven't watched Lightyear yet, but I have to watch that. I actually have to. I have to watch the most recent Jurassic Park too, Jurassic World.
Lightyear was pretty good. It was not what I expected, and it was entertaining, and it was good.
Cool.
Honestly, it's not one I'd go watch back 14 times like the original Toy Story. That it didn't have that.
That's the thing. Feel. I've never actually watched one of the Toy Stories all the way through. I haven't. I know.
Dude, the fourth one with Forky was freaking hilarious. I got to be honest, it was great. But and it had Keanu Reeves in there. It was great. It was great.
I'll check him out eventually. My kids love him, so I'll watch him at some point. I just haven't. I don't know. I just kind of missed the boat on the first one and then never circled back. And
watch him. All right, guys, we're out of here. Have fun. If you haven't already checked out my review of Punchline, go check that out. And I do have. I got something special in a box right here that I'm putting together a little special video for, but I can't show you what that is yet. So anyways, we're out of here. We out. Hope you all guys have a good one. We'll see you next time.